I have the great big pleasure of being able to work with our partners at Zoom. So we've got a very long-standing partnership, over 12 years in the partnership. So Zoom was our very first partner in our collaboration program, and I believe we were Zoom's first partner as well as a hardware partner.
Yeah, and I understand you're here to showcase some of your new solutions.
Yeah,
One of them standing right behind us.
exactly. So one of the really unique things about the Zoom and Logitech partnership is really the breadth of our portfolio. So no matter whether you're joining from your desk, your office, a dedicated space, or a shared space, we've got the solutions to make your workplace simple, smart, and sustainable. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. You're going to see a number of new certified devices, all the way from the desk in terms of keyboards and headsets. But as Felipe, you alluded to, one of our largest devices that we've shipped now is our new all-in-one. So let's go take a look.
Go check it out.
All right. So this is the new Rallyboard 65. So an all-in-one display, a beautiful 65-inch display, and a really, really powerful new all-in-one from Logitech. One of the great things about this is it's easy to set up. So it allows you to deploy this anywhere you want. So whether it is a remote office with limited IT, it needs to be really simple to set up, or in any headquarters. And we made it really easy to be able to mount this in a number of places as well. So you're seeing it here in more of an open space environment on a cart. It can also go in a wall mount on a Visa mount, or it can go on a credenza or a desk as well. And some customers want to be able to mount their camera above. So really useful as you're coming up and interacting with this from a whiteboarding perspective. But sometimes you want the camera to be below. So one of the cool things about this cart is that you can also be able to very easily flip it around. And so what that does is if you were to use this from the other side, now all of a sudden the camera is below, right? So really easy functionality. I'm not a super strong person, but you can just see how easy this is to be able to flip if you need to.
I just love the way that camera flips here.
It's pretty awesome. So one of the so as I was mentioning, you can deploy this either as a Zoom room. You can deploy this as a companion device. You can also use it as kiosk mode as well.
Great, and thank you so much for introducing that concept. So here we see a rally board on kiosk. This is one of our most popular provisioning profiles within the Zoom Rooms portfolio. Today we're showing the 4 different functionality features that that we can support on Zoom kiosk. One is receptionists, visitors, workspaces, and deliveries. This is actually what it does. It allows us in receptionist mode. It allows us to load up to 6 different functions that can be just a receptionist, perhaps security, IT support. And then these buttons is just a one button to push experience for your users where the calls are routed to those subject matter experts that can provide that help to those people interacting with the board. So let's go ahead and call a receptionist so that we can let them know that we're waiting here at the lobby in the 11th floor so we can continue with our tour. So as you can see now, the rally board wakes up, the camera opens up. And that is also to give the participant implied privacy. But here, Jonathan, we're here on the lobby. Can we continue with our tour? Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Well, so now Jonathan knows that we're here, and then we're going to go ahead and hang up the call, and then we can continue with our tour. As we mentioned, really, really easy to set up. This is already pre-built within the Zoom interface and within the Zoom admin interface. So again, something that we can that you can deploy by just the provisioning with the kiosk mode. Visitor management, again, a pretty logical step that when you have somebody in the reception, now they need to get registered. 2 different experiences depending on what you're looking to do with your visitors. One is they can do a check-in. This is when they have been pre-registered prior to coming on site. And then they have a 6 character code that they just enter here. And then now all they have to do is just interact with the board in order to print their badge. We also have the integration with the badge printers, and we'll go through that in a second. But if I just show up here unannounced, and I wanted to just, again, get registered, I can just go ahead and put my name. I'm going to go ahead and put at zoom.com. And then from here, I'm just going to put my organization. Then it's going to ask me for the host name. This is going to trigger a multiple different things within Zoom. Is going to, the minute I put my host, which is Ed Giver, is going to not only tell Ed that we're actually here on site, but it's also going to announce to perhaps a security coordinator your reception is that there's a visitor here at the lobby waiting for Ed. And then obviously Ed will get notified so that way he can come and get me, or he knows that I'm actually bound to his office. From here, we can also load questionnaires. We also have the ability to load NDAs. So here I'm just going to say yes to everything. So now as a visitor, I'm telling whoever's hosting me that these are some of the requirements that I have. For some of you and some organizations that perhaps have ADA requirements, this is a great way for you to capture some of those ADA requirements prior to a visitor, entering your facility. Now the camera opens up, and then we go ahead and take a picture. It gives us about 3 seconds in order to get in our best posture. Now that the picture's captured, we hit finish.
Photo, Felipe.
Thank you. And then here, I just, as you can see now, the printer is going to go ahead and get us a badge that we can go, now put in, then people know that we are ready to, that we're ready to get into on premises, and everybody's been notified. And then now I'm officially in Zoom. Perfect. So
Nice. That's really a really awesome new feature that it's all part of the Zoom platform. Correct.
I absolutely love it. Yeah. So the visitor management with the batch printer integration, one of our most popular features that, and to your point, it was just released very recently. Now, the other one that was very impressive. Now, this is more for internal consumption. However, it can also be extended to to our visitors. Is visitor management, or actually workspace reservation. Actually, that perfect. Now it renders. So here's where we can load different maps, or it can actually, we can definitely do different options if necessary. Well, this is where we can showcase perhaps how a room looks. We can load pictures. We can load what the assets that are in the room. So if they have whiteboards, if they have how many people they sit capacity. And then when people walk in, they can go ahead and choose either a share space like the one that you're seeing here today, or they can also, if you are looking to do more of a hybrid or more of a hoteling type of activity, then this is where your employees can actually go onto the desktop experience for Zoom, or they can just walk in ad hoc and then reserve a space. Here, what we're going to do is we're going to see that this desk is waiting for somebody to reserve it. It's totally free for the day. If I wanted to just go ahead and reserve it for about an hour, I can go ahead and do that. And then I hit next. Now, because this is not being done from the actual Zoom client, I can go ahead. I need to let it know who it is that is reserving it. So it's giving me the QR code in order to just for me to go ahead and open my camera and actually just get the let me get my camera here. Reserve.
And the great thing is you can leverage the workspace reservation from your mobile device, from your desktop clients, and from these kiosk devices as well. So lots of opportunities for your end users to be able to engage with the workplace.
Yes, absolutely, Sarah. So now I open my camera just like I do when I go to a restaurant to order. And then now that space is reserved. My avatar has populated. And I was letting everybody know that Felipe has reserved the space for during that time slot. So are you ready to go see
Yeah.
what the experience is
So
when we go to that desk? So come and follow us. Let's go ahead and show you what we're doing now in order to do the check-in process for the desk. And in order for us to kind of showcase a brand new product, or actually one of your most exciting products, which is the Logitech
Logitech
Flex.
Flex. Yes,
So
that's true. So we're gonna come over here. And so if you were in an open space environment, then of course you want to stay just as productive as you would from your work from home environment or from a dedicated work from home desk as well. So
perfect. So two things here. One is, as you can tell, now the Logitech Flex has been notified that right through my reservation that this desk has been reserved by me. People that are walking through the hallways of Zoom will also know that this desk is reserved for the day or for that time period by the person. It tells you the time, so from 10:10 to 11, and obviously it's giving you a status. As you can see here, you can also see the availability. If I want to book at a different time, I can go ahead and reserve from here. So really, really, really simple for those that need a space to work to understand what's free and what's busy in those desks. Now, one of the coolest things, and Sarah, this goes a long way with Zoom when you develop features this great, is that when I come in with my laptop, I'm just walking through with my laptop. I'm just kind of looking for a place to work. When I come in, I can just put my laptop on the desk. And what happens the minute I connect it into the Doc Flex, immediately gets me checked in. And then now I'm ready to work.
wow, that's really magic. So and let me make sure I understand what happened here. just with one single cable that you plugged into your laptop. Logitech Flex is communicating with the Zoom app on your desktop to automatically check you in. So as you saw, Felipe came in here, you didn't have to scan a code or check in any other way.
Nope, it made it simple, just pretty much just following the workflow that everybody at the
Exactly.
workplace knows. It's like they just go ahead and plug in. All we're doing is we're just now letting the organization know that this space has been reserved. So it's really important too, Sarah, because as this information bakes, a lot of people that are managing real estate, a lot of office managers need to know who's coming, who's going, how the spaces are being used, with what frequency, and making it easy for the end users. That UX experience is very, very important. So that way they plug in, again, following those natural steps. And then from there, they just do their work and no additional steps, to your point.
Yeah. So really going back to some of those key tenets we talked about at the beginning. So that was really simple, as Felipe was mentioning, not having to change end user behavior, not having to train employees on anything, just kind of going with what they would naturally do when they walk in and sit down at a desk. And then now IT and facilities and workplace teams have all the insights around who's reserved the desk. Did they actually check in and use it? You can also do things like being able to either block or activate users from using this desk if they haven't actually reserved it ahead of time.
So
Uh,
now, Sarah, I see that there's some other exciting
Yep.
devices here, more for personal use. But again, this also shows that integration with Zoom. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about these devices?
I'd love to. So, as the name implied, Logitech Flex is also a docking station. So, one of the reasons why an employee comes in and they want to check in and plug in the cable is you want to be able to leverage this great display that's been set up here, the wonderful peripherals as well. So, when we join our Zoom meetings from home or in our dedicated desk, right, you got that great setup that you want. How can you make sure you recreate that in a shared environment as well? So, with one single cable, into the docking station. You get the monitor, up to two 4K monitors. You get your webcam as well. So our new Brio 4K camera, making sure that you look really great on your Zoom meetings. In addition to that, if you wanted to bring in your own personal headset, this is our new Zone Wireless 2 device with two-way noise cancellation. In an open environment, this is really
I
perfect.
hear those are great with Zoom Phone and Contact Center, right?
Exactly. So this is a very good key point. So as you come in, you can either pair Bluetooth or you can be able to use one of the ports on the front of Logitech Flex and plug in your dongle, and then make sure you're ready to go. So new certifications across the board with Zoom Phone, and then also some of our headsets like our Zone Wired, sorry,
Mhm.
just got Zoom Contact Center certification as well. So we're doing a lot across the board to make that really interesting.
That's incredible, Sarah. Thank you.
The other thing I will highlight is we've got our brand new signature slim keyboard here, which also is just recently Zoom certified. I think just last week actually. So it was really late breaking. So this is a new keyboard. It comes in both a wired and a wireless version, and there's also the option to be able to integrate with your Zoom meetings. So you got these really nice action buttons at the top to be able to control your Zoom calls, be able to join the calls, and be able to mute and have mute sync and other things like that as well. So all this type of functionality to make your life a little bit easier, make it super easy for you to be productive on your Zoom platform.
Awesome. I also wanted to remind the audience that we also have Giancarlo on the call, and if for any reason there are any questions or comments that you would like to interact with Sarah or I, just make sure you put those on the Q&A, and Giancarlo can go ahead and ask those questions. Again, no, we're here to again answer any questions that you have. So please ask us to pause, and then we'll be more than glad to answer those questions for you. All right,
Wonderful.
you ready to move to our next stop?
Let's do
All
it.
right, come and follow us. All right. So here we are in one of our large conference spaces at Zoom. One of the reasons why we wanted to showcase this space is because it is Logitech offers multiple different ways in order to deploy the Zoom room. So where there is one where it's build your own Zoom room with a lot of their camera peripherals and other items, as well as interacting with third-party devices. But one that, before we go into that, we also wanted to showcase the tab scheduler. These usually live right outside the door, and then this showcases what's the schedule for the room. Again, the status of the room has got this great LED lights in order to do green or red for free or busy. One of the things that we also like to showcase with Zoom is that it also showcases the deep integration that we have with calendaring platforms like Outlook, like Google Calendar, or even our own for Zoom. Again, one of the things, one Zoom Room license, I'll just put my finger here. One Zoom Room license gets you unlimited licensing for its calendaring displays. So very, very, very convenient for those of you that are looking to put this in every door. You don't have to pay for a license per door. Zoom gives you all you can need on that side of the house in order for you to just outfit the every room with a tap scheduler, and then again get the status. Now, as I go and I see that this room is busy between 10 and 11 and 2 to 2:30, I still need to use the space. And I'm just walking through the hallways of Zoom, and I just want to go ahead and pick a different room, perhaps at a different time slot, perhaps for an extended amount of time instead of 50 minutes, 45 minutes. But let's say this room is booked the entire day. I can just go ahead and switch the room. And that same map that populated in the Rally Board 65 during this time block slot is also showing me that this space is available during that new time slot that I'm picking, but it's also showing me the status of all the other rooms in case I just need to go ahead and pick a different room from this device. So very flexible, again, fully supported on the Logitech devices. And here we're just again really happy to be able to showcase the ability of the platform and the services that are included with our workplace bundles as well as Zoom rooms. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and switch cameras, and we're going to kind of showcase this space, and then we're going to turn it over to my friend Davis to go over some of the things that we're doing with Logitech devices here. So here, this is our Poppy Hills conference space. This is one of our largest spaces, as I mentioned. Size, just for reference, is about 26 by 20. So this is a nice size space. We have capacity about 12 to 14 people. As you can tell, this is a three display configuration. Zoom, just to note, can handle up to 4 native displays, and we can change the layouts and everything directly from our user interface. And we have 3 cameras. In this case, they're actually set up more of in a chevron pattern in order to support something that we call Intelligent Director. We're going to go through that in a few minutes. So as we set up this, one of the things to note is that, again, we build our own Zoom room here. The engine is actually a PC, and then it's actually integrated with 3 Rally cameras, but we're using third-party audio devices. Again, one of the great things about Logitech is that they have worked other partnerships with other brands in order to allow for, if you need more professional audio and some of the integrations right into the core for Zoom rooms, they allow all these devices, and they allow the devices to interact as one. So why don't we go ahead and get on the call so that we can showcase one of the things that we're doing with smart speaker tags, which is one of our newest innovations, as well as Intelligent Director. Let's go ahead and go on the call. Give me a few seconds here. All right. And here we are. So one of the things that we have here when you're going to start seeing this, you're going to start seeing participant 1 and participant 2. This is right now, this is the row telling us that there are multiple participants in this space, and that we need again, as we're capturing some of these data, some of these transcripts, summaries, and creating all this data, it's also letting the room know that it's not just a run-on sentence, that there's multiple different participants. But if this is integrated to a calendar and I'm invited to a calendar invitation, usually if I allow it, again, it's a 2 levels of consent, one from the administrative side of the house and one from each individual. My name can actually automatically populate. So in this case, it's not. So I'm going to go ahead and put myself in here for participant number 3. And I'm going to do this, man. I'm already in the directory, so it's very simple for me to go ahead and populate my name. So as you can see now, this is no longer Poppy Hills. This is now Felipe Henao speaking. And then as Zoom is capturing the transcripts, it's going to say Felipe Henao said this, participant 2. If I want to name Sarah or Davis, they'll say Davis said that, and then Sarah replied to that. So it really starts bringing context to what's being told. So now one of the things that one of the biggest problems is what you can see here. This is a beautiful space, but we still have this bowling alley effect. So Davis, I'm going to go ahead and pass this to you, or I'll just enable it for you so it's a little easier. And to talk more about Intelligent Director and how your cameras integrate with Zoom and what Intelligent Director does for us. So let's go ahead and get this going.
Absolutely. Well, hey, everybody. Dave Sawin. I'm the Global Solution Manager at Logitech, and we have a lot to actually talk about in this room. This is where we're leveraging Zoom's Intelligent Director with our 3 rally cameras in the front of the room because there's times where it's very important to capture these perspectives. As you can see, you get a primary room view, which is, Poppy Hills. I am number 1 because I'm the greatest. Sarah's number 2, command,
Number one.
and Philippe's number 3. But the reason why we do this, right? It's a bowling alley, it's the runway, right? You can't capture human expression. So, as Philippe goes, "Hey, Davis, we need to go to Atlanta and do this master project," and I am backlogged, you can see my expressions where either what, wow, that's exciting, let's go do it, or oh gosh, we need to plan, you know? And my teammates from abroad, such as yourself on the far end, could see my either excitement or concern. And again, so that's very important that you think about, right? Is we had an era where a lot of people worked from home and we all had our own real estate. Now, with Zoom Intelligent Director powered by a PC, we're able to give that perspective back to people in the office, right? Making everyone feel included in the meeting. So this is extremely important to get your users on board with video. Philippe earlier mentioned that this room has third-party audio. Some that Zoom and Logitech has done a great job was is we partner with Best and Read, right? Bringing better audio for bigger rooms. But if our equipment can do it, Logitech, we also offer our own audio and our own microphones, and we can go up to a certain size. If you want to learn more about that, you go ahead and go to logitech.com, and we have plenty of information for you there about what we're able to do. But again, Logitech and Zoom constantly work on innovation, bringing best technology together for the best user experience.
I love that, Davis. I think the combination of both intelligent director and then also the smart name tags that Felipe just showed, you can see how this is making the remote end have a much better experience. So not only are you seeing all of our facial expressions, but when we then look at the Zoom AI meeting summary afterwards, right, you're going to get all that great attribution. So I think a few things that either you're on the remote end, you're not here in person, or you weren't able to join the meeting. All these smart things that Logitech and Zoom are doing together to make your workflow a little bit easier.
And Sarah, I also heard that there is some new innovations as far as making it easier for you to install some of these cameras, as well as making it easier as to how do we interact with presets and they show the best vantage points. What can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, Davis, you want to take us through that?
Yeah. So our team at Logitech, we know that, hey, front room camera is important, right? But there will be scenarios where, hey, there might be a camera in the back, a young presenter, and, Zoom has a great interface on our tap controller to control the cameras. But why can't we make it easier? So we actually are extending the life of Rally camera. We have this kit called the Streamline kit. It's a little attachment on the bottom, and it converts everything to category. So it makes installing that much easier than using a standard cable. And we have these special buttons that are presets. We can preset it to the front of the room, to certain areas, and it makes it just that much more intuitive for a user to plug into a secondary camera and have different angles in the room. Um, that was a very large illustration, but really quick, we're going to show you guys a video on Streamline and how it works, and hopefully it makes sense to you guys.
Thank you.
Let's roll.
Nora?
All right. Walking over to one more very exciting room, right, Felipe?
Yes, we are. We're walking to our easiest one, which is the appliance.
I've
So-
got to say, I'm so impressed with your UBC overall and just all the different demos that you're able to
It's a
see.
beautiful, beautiful place. Let's go ahead and find a seat and let
Let's do it.
our friend Morella.
All right. Give me some love. And if you guys can hear me now, I can see the reactions coming through. But welcome to yet another conference room. This room is 16 by 20. It's a standard size conference room, and it's a perfect room for Logitech hardware. This Logitech board, what we've got is a different configuration than you saw earlier as a kiosk. It's a very simple setup that you do everything from the portal. In fact, everything that you see today can be configured on our Zoom portal. So you've got a Zoom room, and here you have the option to select a whiteboard. Within this whiteboard, you have full functionality, not only to use it right now in this room, it is paired with the Zoom room, and you're not even in a meeting yet. All right. So if I want to go ahead and start here with my crew, Zoom room features, I can go ahead and initiate our um, our AI to get us kicked off with some conceptual ideas around any particular subject that you want to kickstart. Now, for me, what I love about the AI is that it's totally tied in with our multiple products and platforms. So right here, we've got some really great functionality here, meeting durations, some of those virtual background. These are the things that are applicable for our Zoom room features, and just like that, saving time. And as I alluded to, AI is fully incorporated throughout our platform, making you more productive than ever before. I want to bring this to your attention once more that I'm not even in a meeting. So with your Zoom room license, you get so much out of the box. You get the functionality of the whiteboard with the Logitech board. They're 65-inch. And as they also mentioned today, love the fact that this could be a camera at the top or below. I'm going to go ahead and discard this, but if I wanted to save it, of course I can. Now let me bring it to some of the other features in the Zoom room. The Zoom room is available for you and has all the features set right out of the box. One of them being right here, accessible. Everything, in fact, is accessible through the controller, making it very user-friendly for you to navigate. You can see the calendar right there for the day. One click to join. Not only can you one click to join into your scheduled meetings for Zoom, obviously, but you can also incorporate other meeting platforms such as Teams, WebEx, and Google. And in case you forgot to invite the conference room, not a problem. You've got the shortcut directly right there below. So in a pinch, go ahead and select the icon to your meeting and dial in the digits. Ultimately, one click to share is the way to go. Another functionality here is Zoom Phone. Look at that. You no longer need to have a speakerphone and additional hardware into the space because you can simply dial in the phone number. Hey, Philippe, you want to give everybody your cell phone number today for this demo? He's going to pass. All right. But here also you can have contacts. You can also have room control. You can control the lights, the display, all kinds of different things, all through very simple JSON scripting. And you can also add support in case if you're having some difficulties in the room, you can add support and of course the settings. All right, so these are some of the functions that you get right out of the controller. One of the most popular one is share content. If you select this content, you get the instructions on how to share content into this room. You can do it through proximity, which I'll share in a moment. You can also go to a browser in case your guests do not have the Zoom client installed. You can also use the iPad or an iPhone. We have a great relationship with Apple, so that also works. So let me go ahead and again highlight the fact that I don't have a meeting initiated yet. I'm just going to go simply to my Zoom client. And what I also love about the Zoom client, it really does simplify everything. You even have the option to pair your own mobile device into the room. That way, if you've got anything scheduled, you can immediately switch from the hardware that you're bringing into the room and use the built-in technology. No cables, no wires, etc. is needed. So for me to share screen, I go ahead and I select that icon, and just like that. Again, want to emphasize the fact that this was incredibly simple. Absolutely no additional technology is needed for this because the Logi Rally Bar already has everything that you need along with the Zoom Room license, which this is a feature that's fully supported through our platform. And here, if I want to showcase this, I'm not in the meeting yet, but of course, if I was in a meeting, the broad participants would be able to annotate on the content and we can collaborate back and forth. This technology, very simple to do across the board. And just because I feel inclined to show off, if I have my cell phone, again, if I want to do a quick presentation here through my phone, or maybe just I went on an awesome hike yesterday, guys, and this is to showcase beautiful Bay Area. With everything Apple, all you need to do, right, is put in that code. Again, very simple. This is using AirPlay, right? So no additional technology here is needed either. This is just part of what you get out of the box with Zoom Room. And look at this, guys. Isn't this just beautiful? Absolutely. And if you're looking for detergent, I guess I am broadcasting at it too. So you can go ahead and go through, and it does support full media. So if you have any videos you want to share, you can see here, you can share the audio if I was to unmute, etc. When you're done sharing, stop mirroring. It's that simple. Now, enough about what you can do locally. You can do a lot. I could go on and on. You can even have your device enter in as a Zoom companion to summarize your local meeting. It's unbelievable what we're adding to ensure that your meetings are as productive as possible. However, it is time to go ahead and join this webinar through the technology and show off the Logi Rally bar. All I'm going to do is one click to join.
Here we are. All right. So, and welcome everybody back. Here we are in in our Spyglass conference room. This space is about 16 by 20, so it's a smaller space. Is what we call a medium space. Capacity about 8 to 10 people. Everybody can sit comfortably. But as you notice, some of the layouts have changed. So you can see the actual bowling alley effect. But now you're seeing us more front and center as we interact within the table. So the AI built in within these devices can actually tell. So, Davis, before I jump into you to tell us a little bit more about Sight and what we're doing with the center of the room camera with the panoramic camera, I also want to note that we have the Rally Board 65 with the camera also as an additional camera in the space that we added here at home. This is our companion mode powered by the Rally Board 65. If I need an additional camera, I need an additional display, or I just need to whiteboard into the meeting, all I have to do is just roll in one of these boards, connected to connected via an ultrasonic signal that the Rally board is emitting, and then the two devices can go ahead and connect with just one 6-character code. And then now I have an additional camera perhaps for the rear of the room, or perhaps for somebody that wants their own camera. And now I have an additional display in order to provide additional display support. So great feature. And then now you can also see what we're doing for the panoramic camera, center of the table cameras, in order to really give you more of that immersive view of the space. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my friend Davis so he can tell us a little bit more about this new mode on Zoom rooms and what we're doing with the Logitech Sight.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. I'm going to take a step back, right? And let's talk about this really quick. There's actually three unique pieces of Logitech equipment here. We have the Rally bar that's in the front. So that unit should be able to capture everyone in front of you. It just switched to me, right? And then we have our little sight right here. This is our center table AI camera to pick up different perspectives. Again, earlier we're in Poppy Hills. There were 3 rally cameras in front capturing what I call the runway, right? Or the bowling alley. But in small rooms, there are times where discussion happens inside and there's something issue happen, and like I have to ask Morella, tell me about that height. Like, what was that bird? Where did you go?
It was here in the Bay Area, Preston Ridge. I highly recommend it. And I can even, if I wanted to, share content. And what I love about the Zoom Room Companion mode is that it not only takes advantage of the built-in amazing camera that you guys have, but it becomes additional real estate space for that content for the people in the back of the room. Meanwhile, you just wheeled it in. You can even pair it on the spot if you need to. Wi-Fi just makes it very versatile.
She's a technology expert. Like how long has she been here? Like, this is amazing.
I know she's been here for a while, but also, Davis, you can see as you're seeing the camera switches, the AI built in within the Logitech devices powered by Zoom rooms. When we're switching the vantage points, now when Davis mentioned this in the beginning, when he was looking at the front of the room, the front of the camera, the camera built in within that bar was the one that capturing it. Zara is going to go ahead and demonstrate here. Takes a few seconds in order for the AI to acknowledge that. We don't want to do a really crazy switch. So now Sarah is being captured by the front camera, but I'm still being captured by the side because I'm speaking towards Sarah, I'm speaking towards it. But as we all engage and we still engage in the conversation, if Sarah were to look at me again, and then the two of us engage in a conversation, say, hey, Sarah, how you doing this morning?
Doing pretty well. I feel like I wish I'd started my morning with the hike that Morella went on.
I know, what a great hike. So 2 things here also. You hear that the audio from the room is coming very, very clear. two things. The mics, the mic array that's built in within the Rally bar is incredible. However, we're complementing the audio with 7 additional mics that are built in a Omni in an Omni area that is actually built in within the site. So you're complementing audio in the room by adding that additional camera, but also the mics that are built in within this device.
Yeah, and something to note, this site is actually companion to our Rally bar, right? As of today, we are able to do one site under Zoom Interpreter for appliance. Remember, early policy with the 3 cameras in front, that was Zoom Interpreter on PC. This is for appliance. And really soon, we're actually releasing our beta software to actually have 2 sites. We're going to hear more perspective of the room, right? And if you look at the orientation, that's really important. You should actually see the pit, and it's to the left. So is Sarah, then we have Morella, then Felipe and myself. What our camera AI does is we put everyone in the correct position. So orientation matters. Having perspective of the room, know who's in there matters. And this is technology that we think makes the media more inclusive.
It's nice because if Marilla and I were to look at each other in person, then on the far end, it looks like we're actually looking at each other. So I think some of those natural spatial cues really come through really nicely.
It's also worth noting that the intelligence that is built in within the camera also understand who is not an active participant. In a lot of cases, we have people that are perhaps camera shy, that don't want to be part of the meeting, don't want to be on screen. So they don't necessarily have to be forced to be part of that meeting. So it does really respect those boundaries that some of us humans have in order to be on screen and in some of these virtual meeting spaces. So as you can see, our friend Ed is here. He hasn't been very active speaking, therefore he has not been placed into the gallery. But if we will start speaking, immediately probably the last active speaker will get bumped, and then Ed will go ahead and participate. I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I just wanted to make sure that we noted that.
No worries, I'm not mute. So anyway, what you're also noticing here is that this mode that we're currently in is what we call speaker focus. And you're going to notice that there it is, a picture-in-picture view of the overall room view. Now, Felipe is going to enable Intelligent Director, of which the Logi bar is one of the first appliances that's going to support Intelligent Director. And so now goes away that picture-in-picture view. Now you get a one single stream that is the entire room view, and then the broken up, divided view of the most active speaking participants in them.
Yep, so you can see it right here.
Love it.
Yeah, and I've been working with this partnership for over 7 years now. And these are the innovations that we constantly bring to the market. It's exciting. We understand that, hey, not every use case is this, but there will be a need for this. So, with this partnership, we're constantly thinking of different ways to help users be productive, be caught on video, be heard, be seen, use different devices, right, to connect to the system. And all that, even the software itself, right? I'm using your Google Docs or your chat software, and it's nice to have one window to work out every day.
I think the best thing is that we let humans be humans, right? We're not forcing people to look at the front of the room. We're just having the technology interact with how we behave in a space like this, when we're all just kind of doing this bonfire effect, if you want to call it that way. We're all just, around, sharing ideas, really creating something new. And then in this case, we're just sharing some of these things and then really showing how natural the technology can make a meeting look when you are, not being here on-prem with us.
Yeah, in the past when Sarah would, make sure that I do my work, it was kind of weird to look at the front and she's here telling me what I did wrong. So that was an awful experience.
It's a good thing, Davis. You're hardly ever wrong.
I was getting yelled at by 2 Sarahs. That was scary. I'm just being serious.
So Sarah, you also have a few more devices that you want to kind of showcase. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I wanted to highlight a couple first here. I think you guys mentioned it a little bit, but just to make sure that the audience is really aware. So Sight is, as we've been working with Zoom, really one of the areas where we're really innovating and really being first to market. So not only being Zoom's first panoramic camera that was certified, but then also, as Davis had mentioned, with Intelligent Director appliances, bringing this experience over to appliances, we're also the first to be able to do that. So, but the innovation doesn't stop there. So we talked a little bit about Rallyboard 65 before. One of the great things about Rallyboard 65 that we haven't talked about yet is there are also built-in sensors into Rallyboard 65. So you're starting to see how we're starting to make the workplace smarter throughout this webinar around being able to understand where the spaces are. But there's a number of different other metrics that workplace will really want to understand. So whether that is temperature, CO2, particular matter, all of that is really affects how productive you can be. So if you've ever been locked in a conference room all day long, your oxygen gets low, you get a little bit tired. There are reasons for that, right? So I think that also affects quite a bit what the workplace experience looks like. But what about rooms that don't have a video endpoint in this?
Tell us a little bit more about that. That's actually very exciting.
Exactly. So that's why we have been very excited to bring a new product to market. It's not here yet, but a little bit of a preview is we are launching a product called Logitech Spot. So let me cue up the video, and that'll do a better job of introducing it than I will.
Yep. We'll have our production team go ahead and roll it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about what this device is going to do, Sarah.
Yes. So Logitech Spot is a device that you can stick on any wall or any kind of space that doesn't have a video endpoint. So whether that is in a meeting room that is just not video, right? So maybe made for local meetings, or it could be in, let's say, a phone booth or another kind of pod that you're working from. And you want that occupancy data. So understanding when you look at your Zoom workplace format, understanding what spaces are available and what spaces are being utilized, having that presence detection is hugely valuable, right? So I just need to take a quick phone call. I just need to find a quick like phone booth or private space instead of walking around the office and trying to hunt down one of those spaces. Having that presence detection with Logitech Spot in those spaces, I can very easily go to one of my Rally Board 65s, look up on the floor plan and understand, okay, this space is available. Let me go over there and pop in there.
Awesome. We can't wait to see this device in action as soon as you guys put it on the market.
Exactly.
But with that, we're getting to that point in this webinar where we should take a couple of questions and then let the some of our team go get on with their day. So Giancarlo or Natalia, any questions, any comments from the audience?
Yes. Actually, there is a question of someone on the chat that noticed the rally camera ceiling mounted in the back of the room that you guys are in right now, and they're asking whether we can connect that to set up like this without the help of a separate Windows machine.
Go ahead, Sarah.
Yeah, so you can always add an additional rally camera, whether it's in the back of the room or somewhere else to that room. The great thing about working with Zoom is that you can do a multi-camera mode. So whether that is switching from camera to camera or being able to simultaneously stream cameras as well.
Yep. It's worth noting to that person in the audience, Zoom supports up to 4 native cameras. So if you build your own Zoom room on PC, you can do up to 4 rally cameras. If you do on the appliance, you can do up to 3 rally cameras that are just home run. There is no AV infrastructure. That's how simple it is. And if for any reason there is any challenges as far as running cables and things like that, remember that video that you saw in the middle of the webinar with the Streamline kit that allows you to extend those signals through a category cable. So doing that in the back of your room is super, super simple. Just a Cat6 run it's straight into the connection through that Logi bar, and off you go. Now you have a dual camera setup. You probably do it in less than an hour.
And what I love about the Rally also, I mean, there's a lot of different configuration that we can do with Logitech, right? And the support of the Zoom Rails being able to support not only multiple cameras, but also multiple display. In Logi, because you guys are yet all in one bar, but you're still modular to the degree where you can add additional speakers. And forgive me, you could also add additional microphones on the table, microphones on the ceiling as well, to the same microphones, which are out of the box, very affordable to extend up to 4 of them.
Yep, on the Rally Bar. And on the Rally Bar Mini 3, and we have a modular system called Rally Plus. That's our biggest system. It's 427 mic.
Yep, it's incredible. Any other questions, Natalia or Giancarlo? Any other comments from the audience?
Yes. So sorry, Nati. So there were a couple of interesting questions. So one of them, how far away can you place a Logitech Sight and still get a good audio and video?
So the Logitech Sight, we go on our product hub. We do have recommendations. We we prefer having the sight a certain distance away from the rally bar. And then for the dual sights, we have a certain distance. We're locking at it right now, but as right now, it looks about like 2.5 meters, so about 7 feet apart. And I think that's where you get the most optimal because you want the front camera of the room to do some work, and you want sight to do some work, and you want sight two, the one further down, to have some better coverage. We don't want too much overlap. Right.
There's two ways to answer that question. And I'm not sure what the intention was, but you can mount sight. It's more of a matter of cabling rather than distance, right? In terms of where you mount it. And as what Dan mentioned earlier, sight does have its own built-in microphones. So that's a really great thing about it is you are extending audio and video at that table. As Davis had mentioned too, we recommend at most around 2.5 meters for one of the participants are sitting away from sight. So if you got a larger room that's maybe really wide, then maybe the 3-camera setup will be better for you. But if you're in more of a traditional conference room like this, then that's really where sight shines.
And from a microphone perspective, there's also the mic pods from Logitech that have they cover a larger area. So work with your AV professional or work with the Logitech team in order to determine what's the best coverage in order to cover that room. But plenty of solutions in order to provide a good coverage area from a microphone perspective. I know that there's a few questions, more questions than Giancarlo or Natalia. Go ahead.
Yeah. So on a similar note, there was a question again about Logitech Sight. Can more than one side be used at a time?
Yes. Very soon, we're launching our beta software for 2 sites. So that is just around the corner. Stay tuned. Yep.
Yeah, if you're interested in trying out, please do reach out to your Logitech account manager. We can look at getting you on that beta, but that's very near on the horizon. So if you are at InfoComm, for example, I know we just demoed it in our booth, and it was super popular, a really great experience as you're seeing, be able to have that really close-up view of each participants, but then being able to extend it to more folks and now being able to show 8 active participants at once and then having that coverage. So being able to, so let's say in the Logitech offices, maybe we'll host from there next time in our boardroom. That's exactly how we've got it set up.
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, a solution for pretty much every room, but more importantly, with the combination of Zoom rooms, and Logitech, just very, very simple for you to design and deploy your rooms, and more importantly, to maintain them and support them. Natalia, I saw that you were getting off mute. Any questions or comments from your end?
Yes, there was an additional question about Intelligent Director, whether Intelligent Director can select the spotlighted be spotlighted in Zoom and remain persistent.
Absolutely. So each stream in Zoom is treated individually. So if it needs to be spotlighted, if one person needs to be spotlighted, or you need to extract that in order to make it part of a production type of experience, absolutely, those can be extracted individually, and they are treated as NDI streams, as outbound NDI streams. One thing that is important to note, you saw the configuration with 3 intelligent directors. We do have something that's called the 2+1 or the 3+1, something that we did not demonstrate here. But if you have somebody presenting in the front of that room, again, those 3 cameras are in the front of the room. Most likely a person won't get captured. Therefore, the reason why we innovated, so an additional rally camera can be mounted similar to what we have here in this space. That rally camera can now capture that person that is presenting to the table. And they can also have the ability, if you have Streamline, to also create presets and then have the camera follow that individual. So a lot of flexibility. Again, the full idea is to simplify the AV experience, the AV installation, and to empower you to go ahead and do those designs, and for you to go ahead and do those deployments and go ahead and support it as well. I think that's really the key as to the partnership between Logitech and Zoom, is that you are now empowered to really get a hold of and really control your AV experience in your spaces.
Love it.
All right. Any other questions before we adjourn? I think we're getting to the top of the hour.
Yeah, a couple of more questions here. This one is regarding Logi Spot. Will Logi Spot have any additional sensors other than presence detection, and is it using mmWave?
Yes, so great question. Spot, in addition to presence, will also be able to detect environmental data as well. So as we talked about things like temperature, CO2, also particular matter. So let's say we've recently painted this room, this beautiful shade that I want to bring home. Then you can also get a sense of like, all right, how clean is the air quality? And especially for companies that care about certifications, that helps you get the data that you need to be able to qualify for that. Another thing that is really cool about the partnership integration also is that we're planning to be able to integrate all that within ZDM as well. So whether you're viewing and managing your workplaces from Logitech Sync or from Zoom portal, you can be able to see all of those great insights.
All right. That's all. Any more questions? Or Giancarlo?
Oh, last question was, what third-party audio companies have we partnered with to amplify our solutions?
There go, Davis. That's
This is my favorite answer. So with Logitech Zoom, again, I mentioned in was it Poppy Hills, we partner in best in breed technologies. So the three ones that we really work with as of today, yeah, is going to be QSys, Shure, and Biam. Yep. And then we have other ones too, like that we work with. But again, we're always working with the best in breed to give customers a decent solution.
I would say some of the things that we're seeing with our customers is first, take a look at the Logitech equipment and the Logitech microphones. So you'll be surprised as to how great they work in doing the coverage for a space of a good size. We're actually doing classrooms with some of these devices. But if the room calls for it, it has a lecture hall, something bigger than that. Perhaps you need handheld mics, different types of mics that we're using here, like lapels. Then I would encourage you go to Logitech.com. There's a lot of white papers and there's a lot of documentation as to how they integrate into those other audio platforms. And again, showcases the innovation for Logitech and how it also interacts with Zoom. So same thing with Zoom, right? So with Zoom, we do same interactions with the same companies. So all of those integrations become native and something that we call native controls.
Yeah, something that I'm very proud of. So,
yep.
Yeah, I think it all goes to show how our partnership is really about making our customers' lives easier. So not only being really simple to set up, simple to use, from wireless screen sharing all the way to like setting up these devices and cabling these devices, all the way to how can we bring a little bit more intelligence. So it's just a little bit easier for you to get through your day, be productive, and then move on to your next meetings and maybe have less meetings in the end.
I can go for a hike. And
Right. But with that, this takes us to the conclusion of the webinar. Thank you so much to all of you for attending and giving us the time of your day in order to learn a little bit more about what Logitech is doing with Zoom. And again, and vice versa, what Zoom is doing with Logitech. Really enjoyed you visiting us, Sarah and Davis. You guys are always a treat to see and when you come to the EVC and when we see each other in shows and things. So thank you. And with that, we're here to adjourn and then continue with your day.
Thanks for having us, Felipe.
Thank you. Take care.
bye guys. Bye.